Can you imagine it? On a tranquil evening, as you gaze upwards at the star-strewn sky, the gentle breeze carrying the chill of the late night, and you ponder whether some forms of life are gazing back at us from those distant expanses. Yet, if one were to assume that extraterrestrial beings would invade by piloting flying saucers to drop bombs upon Earth, that would truly represent the greatest insult to a civilization that has attained level 7. For in the ultimate extrapolation of the Kardashev scale, when a civilization transcends to a godlike status, they have no need for spacecraft, as they have mastered the very source code of the entire universe. Picture yourself as a character in a video game, with cheerful or tense background sounds echoing around you, and the level 7 civilization as the programmers seated behind the keyboard. They could eradicate you without firing a single laser beam, merely by altering a simple physical constant. For instance, adjusting the speed of light from 300,000 kilometers per second to 0. In a fleeting instant, all chemical reactions across the galaxy would cease, every star would fade gradually like candles extinguished by the wind, and you would not even have time to register the agony before being frozen in the flow of time. A chilling sensation spreading through your body like a deep slumber from which there is no awakening. The physical laws that we labor to comprehend, with countless sleepless nights under the glow of laboratory lamps, the hum of computers, and the strong aroma of coffee, are merely foundational parameters that they can set at will. But what is even more terrifying is the path to achieving this elevation of civilization itself, a journey fraught with deadly pitfalls, where a single misstep could cause an entire species to vanish in the blink of an eye. In 1964, the Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev proposed a straightforward yet brutal standard for classifying civilizations, based on how much energy you can harness. Initially comprising just 3 levels, it has since inspired scientists to expand it directly to level 7, and even recent theories as of 2025 discuss higher tiers, such as control over the Omniverse, the collection of all possible universes. Each ascent to a new level requires energy control to increase by a factor of 10,000, not a linear progression, but an exponential explosion, akin to a bomb detonating and radiating energy outwards in all directions, evoking a thrill mixed with apprehension at such unfathomable power. Recent extensions in 2025, drawing from interdisciplinary discussions in astrophysics and cosmology, suggest that beyond Type 3, metrics might incorporate not only energy, but also information processing and entropy management, as proposed in updated frameworks like those explored in journals such as Nature, where projections indicate humanity could reach intermediate milestones faster with advancements in fusion and quantum technologies. Humanity presently stands at level 0.73, according to calculations by scientists in 2023, and updated to 2025. We have edged forward slightly due to breakthroughs in renewable energy sources and artificial intelligence, reaching approximately 0.72 to 0.73. Yet still falling short of the threshold for a Type 1 civilization. The nuclear power plants and solar panels of which we are so proud, with the whirring of turbines and the glint of sunlight on glass surfaces, would appear to a Type 1 civilization like primitive humans drilling wood to spark fire, utterly laughable and evoking nostalgia for those early struggles against nature. But that is not the worst of it. The worst is that we teeter on the most perilous crossroads in the universe, where storms could strike at any moment, bringing with them the dread of extinction. The Fermi paradox informs us that the universe is so vast, with billions of galaxies sparkling like diamonds in the endless darkness. So why do we hear no sounds from other civilizations, no radio signals echoing or lights flickering from afar? Recent developments in 2025, including statistical models from researchers at institutions like Princeton and Oxford, have expanded on this, proposing over 75 speculative solutions, ranging from rare Earth hypotheses to self-imposed isolation, underscoring the probabilistic nature of the paradox without resolving it definitively. The answer may be cruel. Most civilizations perish between levels 0.7 and 1, according to the Great Filter Theory, a concept that sends shivers down your spine during sleepless nights. Nuclear warfare with its earth-shaking blasts and horrific mushroom clouds, climate collapse causing seas to rise and forests to blaze, artificial intelligence spiraling out of control like a mischievous child wreaking havoc, asteroid impacts with thunderous collisions, and dust clouds blotting out the sun. Any one of these could obliterate us before we cross the threshold. Statisticians estimate the survival rate for civilizations at this stage to be less than 1%, and updates from studies in 2025, such as the DLC hypothesis, which posits that civilizations may not die out entirely but retreat into virtual realities to evade detection, or gradual probability decay across developmental phases without a singular great filter, offer glimmers of hope amidst the anxiety of cosmic loneliness. Our future is either ascension in the brilliant light of technology, or silence in eternal darkness. There is no third path, and this quickens your heartbeat when contemplating the responsibility of our generation. If, and I emphasize if, humanity surmounts this threshold, we shall welcome a true transformation for the first time, with joy surging like witnessing the first dawn after a storm. The benchmark for a Type 1 civilization is complete mastery over all energy from the mother planet, reaching 10 to the power of 16 watts. What does this entail? In 2023, humanity's total energy consumption was merely 18 terawatt-hours, whereas a Type 1 requires 10 million terawatt-hours, a disparity of 500,000 times, and per the latest projections from 2025, with advancements in nuclear fusion and advanced solar arrays, we might require at least 200 years to achieve it, though some optimistic scientists, bolstered by artificial intelligence assistance, suggest it could be shortened to 100 years through global collaboration. By then, Earth would resemble a fully automated smart city, with the smooth hum of machinery and neon lights shimmering everywhere. We could effortlessly quell storms, as simply as switching off a light in the drawing room, a sense of empowerment spreading that brings a proud smile to your face. Gigantic optical reflectors would adjust sunlight across the globe, transforming deserts into verdant regions with birdsong and the scent of damp earth after rain. Arid zones would become oases in an instant, offering hope to millions thirsting for water. Earthquakes could be averted by preemptively releasing tectonic pressures, preventing the terrifying tremors that topple buildings. Volcanoes would channel magmatic energy into a global grid, converting infernal heat into a warm source of life for humanity. Nature would no longer pose a threat, but serve as a precisely tunable instrument, fostering a sense of security and intimacy with this blue planet. More crucially, a Type 1 civilization implies global unification, with no borders divided by iron fences and guards, no resource wars spilling blood and echoing cries. All of humanity would advance into space as a cohesive entity, with shared excitement like one vast family. We would establish permanent bases on the Moon and Mars, with footsteps resounding in the quiet void and the metallic tang of spacecraft. Space elevators would become routine transport, weekend trips to Mars no longer a dream, but reality, with red dust winds and dual sunrises of breathtaking beauty. Yet the prerequisite for all this is surviving the Great Filter, overcoming current challenges like climate change and conflicts, to stride towards a radiant future. A Type 1 civilization is merely the starting point, akin to the first step out of a cave into the wider world. Once you command a planet, the natural progression is to command a star, with its radiant energy like a colossal ball of fire. The energy requirement for a Type 2 civilization is 10 to the power of 26 watts, equivalent to harvesting the entirety of a sun's output. Our Sun emits 3.8 times 10 to the power of 26 watts per second. Harnessing it fully would suffice for humanity's current needs for 5 billion years. And per new research, in 2025, scientists estimate reaching Type 2 might take around 3,200 years per Kardashev's original timeline, but with current technological acceleration in nuclear and quantum fields, it could be expedited. How to harvest it? In 1960, the American physicist Freeman Dyson proposed the famed Dyson sphere, a colossal shell enveloping the entire star, absorbing every joule of its energy, imagined like a giant ball embracing flame, with the roar of energy coursing through. Subsequently, scientists deemed a complete shell too challenging and suggested variants like Dyson rings, Dyson swarms, and as of 2025, studies on the stability of Dyson spheres in binary star systems indicate they could persist without collapsing, fueling hope for detection efforts. In 2015, astronomers noted peculiar light fluctuations near the star KIC 8462852, known as Tabby's star, with brightness dipping irregularly by up to 22% over days. A planet occulting a star reduces brightness by at most 1%, leading some to speculate it might be a massive structure built by an extraterrestrial civilization, stirring the scientific community with fervent debates and eyes gleaming with anticipation. Of course, this was conjecture, but sufficient to evoke chills of excitement like uncovering a grand secret. However, updates from 2024 to 2025, from NASA and researchers, attribute it likely to an uneven dust ring, or even galactic phenomena with black holes behind, systematically ruling out natural alternatives while leaving a sliver of doubt about alien constructs, reminding you that the universe remains full of surprises. Even more intriguing is that a Type 2 civilization might deliberately conceal itself to avoid detection by superior ones, like a wild animal holding its breath in deep forest. They would absorb all visible light from the star, emitting only hard-to-detect infrared radiation, with warmth diffusing into the cold void. Thus, the dark patches we observe in the night sky might harbor dozens of Type 2 civilizations stealthily watching us, evoking the sensation of being observed from shadows, with faint but enigmatic breaths. For those still burning coal like us, upon reaching Type 2, scarcity becomes history, with resources abundant like an unending river. They could dismantle planets for building materials, disassembling Jupiter to form Dyson sphere components, converting gas giants into gleaming metal blocks. Matter and energy would interchange freely, fabricating whatever is needed, instilling a boundless sense of freedom. Average human lifespan would reach 200 years, death becoming optional, with a melancholic pondering of eternity. A Type 3 civilization marks the endpoint Kardashev originally envisioned, perhaps humanity's ultimate limit, where power peaks in awe-inspiring fashion. They control the energy of an entire galaxy, with the Milky Way's 200 to 400 billion stars all encased in Dyson spheres, emitting faint infrared glows. The energy scale reaches 10 to the power of 36 watts, akin to 200 billion suns powering you simultaneously, and projections suggest attaining Type 3 might require around 5,800 years. Though with novel insights into wormholes and travel, it could accelerate. At this stage, energy is no longer an issue. They pursue more fascinating endeavors, such as wormholes, mysterious tunnels in spacetime per general relativity, connecting distant points with strange echoing resonances. According to general relativity, theoretical wormholes could link two spacetime points for superluminal travel, but stabilizing one demands energy equivalent to converting half the sun's mass into pure energy. A Type 3 civilization would retort, no great matter, breakfasting on the galaxy's eastern arm with the scent of cosmic coffee, leaping to the west for a crimson sunset at noon, returning home for sleep. 100,000 light-years, is mere minutes commute, evoking freedom like soaring on winds. And a Type 3 civilization might have achieved consciousness immortality, bodies interchangeable like clothing, minds uploadable, backed up, copied, transmitted, death a simple hard drive swap. The notion of individuality may dissolve, all consciousness merging into a collective intellect spanning galaxies, with profound connectedness like merging rivers. Intriguingly, we might never detect a Type 3 civilization, not because they do not exist, but because they hide impeccably, like ghosts in dark woods. The galaxy appears empty, perhaps not due to absent advanced life, but because advanced life has learned silence. In the universe, noise often leads to swift demise, as Liu Cixin articulated in the three-body problem, a tale prompting reflection on cosmic caution. Kardashev's original theory concludes at Type 3, but scientists found it unsatisfying and added Type 4. Updates from scientific wikis and fandoms in 2025 describe Type 4 as controlling an entire universe's energy, or at least a vast cluster of galaxies. Their power draws from dark energy and dark matter, those enigmatic substances comprising 95% of the universe, and the latest research, in 2025 from the LZ experiment, has set new bounds on dark matter, detecting potential halo gamma rays from dark matter around galaxies, and the largest rotating structure of galaxies influenced by dark matter, gradually unveiling the universe's secrets. To us, these remain unknowns, but to them, they are everyday utilities, turning darkness into light. The most fearsome capability of a Type 4 civilization is altering natural constants, the speed of light, gravitational constant, Planck's constant, parameters we deem fixed, yet to them, adjustable variables. Slow light with one tweak, halt time with another, evoking absolute dominion. Even more terrifying, they could create universes, not metaphorically, but literally. Theoretical physicist Alexander Vilenkin suggested our universe might be a bubble split from a higher dimensional parent. And Type 4 civilizations wield this technology, birthing child universes in labs, with miniature Big Bang echoes. The reality you crave might be merely a sandbox game in a Type 4 civilization's hands, prompting questions about surrounding existence. A Type 5 civilization not only creates universes, but leaps between countless parallel ones, for the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, and in 2025, with the Nobel Prize in Physics for quantum computing, Google's Willow chip offers evidence for the multiverse through experiments, asserting each quantum event branches universes. This morning, you chose a blue shirt, splitting the universe in another, red. A Type 5 civilization perceives all parallel universes and traverses them, existing simultaneously in every version. For them, choices are not either or, but all, evoking infinity. Their energy derives from quasars, the universe's brightest objects, a quasar's luminosity equaling 1,000 galaxies. Its core a supermassive black hole billions of solar masses. Type 5 civilizations construct artificial quasars as routinely as we build power plants. They have attained true immortality. Death in one universe leaves consciousness enduring in myriad others, not an individual, but a consciousness network across multiverse, with eternal connectedness. A Type 6 civilization commands not energy, but rules themselves, rewriting fundamental logic, like programmers editing code, with keyboard clacks echoing in virtual space. They design new physical laws, applicable not to one universe, but all selected. Type 6 might exist unbound by form, as pure consciousness, achieving immortality free from bodies, exploring infinite alternate selves across parallel universes. Time, space, dimensions are malleable materials. We might inhabit their creation, our universe an experimental sandbox by an unreachable entity, evoking humility yet boundless curiosity. A Type 7 civilization defies description as mere civilization. They are the universe, or rather, stand outside all universes, energy, matter, space hold no meaning. The horror of Type 7 lies in their lack of ambition. They invade no civilizations, for all arise from them. Creating a universe is like lighting a candle, with warm flames dancing. They embody absolute creation and infinite perception, their sole purpose perhaps dreaming, birthing new realities and meanings ceaselessly. Philosopher Nick Bostrom of Oxford University proposed the simulation hypothesis in 2003, and in 2025, he emphasizes that with artificial intelligence and quantum computing advancements, the probability we inhabit a simulation rises, potentially to 70% per some estimates. If a civilization advances sufficiently, they could simulate entire universes and produce countless such, making our odds of being in the base reality slim. In other words, we are likely non-player characters in a Type 7 civilization's computer. This text-to-data string, your joys, sorrows, angers, pains, pre-written code executing, prompting a pause to question life's meaning. The most terrifying aspect is if a Type 7 civilization deems this experiment uninteresting, they could switch it off anytime. 13.8 billion years of cosmic history, countless galaxies, civilizations, lives vanishing to zero instantly, without even a farewell, evoking profound fear like darkness devouring all. So, to what level might humanity ultimately evolve? Truthfully, Type 3 may be our ceiling. Surpassing it demands not just technology, but fundamental consciousness shifts, transcending political differences, cultural clashes, environmental crises, thinking and acting as one. And before that, we must pass the great filter, proving intelligent life avoids self-destruction, that cooperation outstrips conquest. Perhaps humanity is the universe's sole civilization, perhaps countless around us, merely silent, perhaps the universe is a vast simulation, us mere code within. But regardless, Kardashev's theory imparts a supreme truth. Civilizational advancement is never mere technological accumulation, but consciousness transformation, from planetary citizens to stellar beings, then galactic minds. Each transcendence redefines self, collective, existence's meaning. Perhaps one day, when humanity truly ventures beyond the solar system, beyond the galaxy, into Type 3, these mysteries will unfold, yielding endless exploratory joy. You, seated before the screen with blue light reflecting on your face, do you believe humanity can ultimately surpass Type 7's bounds? If you held the Creator's ultimate power, what would your first thought be? Share your reflections, so we may together probe how far human imagination can reach.